train is just in. We're at Hooton, it's 12 o'clock and we've got another good Premier League day this afternoon. There goes another train. Now, I'm facing the sun, so I can't see the lens very well, but here we are at Sandhill Station, just north of the city centre. And basically we're doing a very similar trip to what we did 4 weeks ago when we listened to the Newcastle Man City game on the 15th of December. Today though, it is the 11th of January, 12th of January, pardon me, and we're getting off at Waterloo again, going into North Liverpool. But this time we're going to join the canal early and walk all the way back to this area along the canals. We made a mistake by going a different route and only walking along the canal for a few minutes and taking residential streets most of the way and a few country paths. So we're just tracing that route back again and doing it more accurately this time. The lunchtime kick-off is a big London derby, QPR versus Tottenham, kicking off in 10 minutes time. Should be a cracker. It was going to be a Monday night game actually, but it's been moved forward due to QPR's FA Cup replay against West Brom, which is next week. So kick-off approaches on a sunny day but a cold day. Certainly colder compared to what it was when we did this in December. And as another train is about to depart and pass me from behind, the Premier League jingle is playing loud and proud across this historic West London ground. QPR desperately need the points. They got a great win at Chelsea a week and a half ago, which might be the springboard for their great escape. They need to keep the momentum going and get a result today. Tottenham are fighting for top four. So both at completely different ends of the table. It really is a fascinating contest. And the players are already out, as I say, and kick-off is just a couple of minutes away. So we'll be following the same route roughly as we did for Newcastle Man City for about the first half an hour. Then we'll walk along the canals for the rest of the way, and apart from a brief few minutes midway through the second half of that game a month ago, it's an entirely different route, but ending in the same sort of place. As another train arrives in from the other platform. That's a Kirby train, we're not getting that, that's another suburb of Liverpool. We're getting the Southport train a few minutes after that. So we're ready to go. The first 10 minutes will be spent on the train, and then we'll give you more comprehensive commentary after that. Updates. Well, one train has just arrived on the southbound platform, and the one that is just arriving on the northbound side to the left of me is what we're getting on. So kick-off is just a minute away. The first goal went in that game a month ago after just 10 minutes, just as we were getting off the train, just a few seconds before getting off the train, I should say. Let's hope there's no goals until after we get off this time.
This train is for Southport. The next station is Seaforth and Lebanon.
Well, the train that I've just got off is departing the station, and it was at this point, 10 minutes in, a month ago, that Man City were already ahead through Aguero. This time it is still goalless, but it's been all Tottenham, and they've got another chance here, and it's gone wide. QPR hanging on for their lives. Cesar's already made at least 2 saves, and there was a double chance for Tottenham, beaten away, only just. They're hanging on by a thread, QPR, but it's still goalless. Well, we've just walked on that busy road, the one we featured more of last time. So, 15 minutes have gone. QPR have survived that early onslaught, and it's still goalless. And a boost for QPR is that Ryan Nelson, he's just become the manager of Toronto FC. However, it's a closed season in North America as far as I'm aware, and he's staying at QPR for the time being. And let's be honest, he's been one of their few good players this season. Very important indeed. Well, here we are again, and for the second time this season I can say we're entering Primrose Valley Country Park. I've hardly done any filming since I got off the train to avoid repetition really, because we've done exactly the same route so far. It's about 50 yards ahead that we turned right a month ago. So everything I film, well nearly everything I film from here on in is a different route from a month ago, so it's not the same, I can assure you. Back to matters here though, we're halfway through the first half, about 23 minutes into the game. A possible injury fear for Spurs, I'm not sure which player. I think it's Sandro. He might be, yeah, a knee injury for Sandro, he might be coming off and Parker might be coming on. So Spurs will be rattled by that. But the score is still 0-0, which will suit QPR at the moment. Well, not only is it a London derby, but Harry Redknapp is hoping to get one on the club that sacked him less than a year ago. And he'll be pleased because after all them chances, including one for Adebayor from just 5 yards out in the first 10 minutes, they've not created too much Spurs since. QPR haven't created much either, in all fairness, but they nicked it with a 1-0 win with a Tarab free kick last season when they beat Tottenham here. A host of home wins in the closing months of the season which led to their survival. That's probably the only way they're going to win this year, to be honest, too. It's going to be fascinating, it really is. Well, we're going straight ahead at this crossroads, but first let me just show you the views of the city about 4 or 5 miles south of here. And there they are, just a few miles to the south, the city. A nice day actually. It is a very good day, but we're continuing straight ahead and we'll be going this way, and it's just towards the houses about 200-300 yards ahead that we should reach the canals. Well, we've had half an hour, it's still goalless. Scotty Parker has since come on, so Sandro did go off injured, we think. Many buildings looking south towards the city, but looking a bit further to our left, the canal is just there, literally 50 yards ahead of us. As it gets windy, a blue bridge to the left there. We're not going that way. That will just lead into other suburbs of northern Liverpool. We're going down here and joining the canal at this point. You can see a few ducks around, but no barges. Never get barges on this canal, really. Not like it is in the country. So we have gone the right way this time. We are now on the canal, and we've still got nearly an hour left of this lunchtime London derby. Happy days. Now they are. And there's a duck race going on, it seems. Not sure where they're off to, but it's all just nature in progress, isn't it? Very good, very good. You can see that man there, he's throwing breadcrumbs over the bridge, which probably explains why they all charge towards it. Well, QPR will be the happier of the two so far. They've not really created much, but they comprehensively won the tactical battle with Chelsea by containing them and then taking one of the few chances they had. And the same tactic will have to work if they're going to beat Tottenham today. With about 35 minutes on the clock. Come on, you R's, sing the home fans. They just had a free kick inside the Tottenham half. Didn't come to anything, but they're playing a lot better now. And surely they're believing that they can at least get a result from this. Well, as we approach another bridge, you can see views of the Bootle, Docklands and shipyards behind the fence. 5 minutes to half time. Well, it's getting a bit windy and it's a cold wind, which you would expect given that it's mid-January. But QPR are growing in confidence as we approach half time. They've got every chance of coming away with something today as it stands. Scott Parker might have done his shoulder He's down on the floor injured at the moment, which will be a worry for Tottenham. There's just 60 seconds left of this half. QPR in possession. As we go through, yep. Well, if QPR can muster a win from somewhere today, then all their fans will certainly be able to say, I am happy. And it will be a good day for them. Well, the team that starts better in the second half is going to be a crucial indicator of who wins this match. We're into stoppage time. It's probably going to go in 0-0 after the first 45. In fact, there's a second bridge here. But yeah, we're gonna remain on the canals for a good few miles yet. We're not coming off them, and we're not. Well, there are a lot of ducks in this area. Sadly, I haven't got any bread for them. I've only got a banana and an apple, and I don't think they eat either of them, so apologies, but you'll have to wait for someone else. In the meantime, I'm heading this way. And there is a half-time whistle. It goes in 0-0 at the break at Loftus Road, but QPR will be encouraged, especially by the second half of that first half. We'll see you in 15 minutes' time. Well, as we show you one of about 1 million Tesco stores in this country, we've now made it into Litherland. So we've walked a good mile and a half south from the Waterloo area, and just another 2.5, 3 miles or so, and we'll be back in the Sandhills region approaching the city centre. So let's keep walking. Well, I was just reading some of the murals and graffitis under this bridge. Something to the max, live life to the max, it says. And then there's some more over here. And a picture of a cat. But the best one is just here. Love life till the end, and we will. That is great Merseyside spirit for you there.
Well, you know, it's great Merseyside spirit, like. You know, there's all the passion and heart. You know, you gotta love it, like. Great Merseyside spirit, like.
Hello, little fella. Ah, I'm sorry, I've got no bread for you. You'll have to go hungry. Ah. Okay, the second half will be underway in just a few minutes at Loftus Road as the players head out the tunnel back onto the pitch. And Queen's Park Rangers fans will certainly hope that this season is not their swan song as a Premier League team. See what I did there? Well, you can see what I did. I just turned the camera and filmed a couple of swans. That's what I did. A blank, almost perfectly square field here. That's what makes it worth filming, the fact that it's so pointless. Well, the second half of this match has started quite like the way the first did. Tottenham forcing the save up of Julio Cesar within 2 minutes. Gareth Bale involved this time. But again, the Hoops survive and it's still 0-0. By the way, the attendance is 18,018. It is the smallest ground in the Premier League, certainly in terms of capacity, but it's a sellout as you would expect. And 3,000 of them have travelled from North London to support Tottenham. More derelict warehouses, you can see. Signs of Liverpool's industrial past that used to flourish, but has dwindled in recent times. Well, for at least the 6th time in this match, Julio Cesar has had to save a Tottenham shot. And it's clear that Spurs have started the second half the best. And it leads to a corner. And he must be the man of the match. QPR certainly owe it to him if they don't lose this game, especially if they win it, because he has been very important for them in goal. So we're coming up to another bridge. Quite a major road this actually. And you'll probably be able to tell that by how long the bridge is, how wide it is, the span of it. We actually walked across this bridge when we did the trip a month ago, where we ended up going on the roads most of the time. In fact, Newcastle got the equaliser at the beginning of the second half around this area, I think. So we're 7 minutes, 6-7 minutes into the second half here. Still 0-0. Well, end to end is a good way to describe this match now. QPR still have the belief, and as long as they're not trying, they will always have that belief in this match. Can Harry Redknapp get the revenge that many people think he deserves on his old club? Well, he's still got a chance of doing it. A spiral staircase there, but we're going to spiral along the canal for a bit longer. And I just said back in the first half that a boost for QPR is that Ryan Nelson is still at the club for the time being. Well, a similar boost for Tottenham is that Adebayor is playing in this game. This is his last game until he goes off to play for Togo in the African Nations Cup. But he hasn't scored, nor with Tottenham, but he could still score the winner for them. We're on the hour mark now, and some of the tall buildings of Bootle over there, which is the area that we're now into. And you might be able to tell we're going through a right curve. We're just coming up to that short stretch where we did walk along the canal a month ago. You might recognise it, and the fish murals and all that in the blue background which are filmed. Well, this is the point where we got on the canal last time. I'll just show you a quick shot of where we came from the right. And there we are. We're going to continue down here for the time being now. And I must say, we're 3/4 of the way through this match now, just 22-23 minutes or so left. It's still 0-0. It's still in the boiling pot, as I call it. It could go either way, this. Well, this is the Leeds-Liverpool canal. And we've only got, what, 124.25 miles to get to the West Yorkshire City from here. Liverpool, on the other hand, that is a mere 3 miles in the distance. Well, it's this bridge where the fish murals are, and the path ends, so we have to cross over a bridge to get to the other side. As we stomp our way down the hill, the cobbled hill. There's a little more than 15 minutes left here. Either team could still win it. I have to say though, Tottenham have had so many corners, and all of these corners given away pointlessly by the QPR defence, but they've survived every one so far. It could still be their day. Well, how precious would 3 points be to QPR? They've not managed back-to-back wins in the Premier League all season. In fact, they haven't done it in over a year and a half since they became a Premier League team. Not since 1995 versus Bolton and Aston Villa have QPR won consecutive league games in the Premiership, apparently, so the BBC 5 Live commentators mentioned. Albeit they did have a 15-year absence, but that's a record that could do with amending right now. It's a record they might have to amend if they're going to stay up. We've got just over 10 minutes left, and Tottenham have made another change as I seek to win this match. And it looks like I'm going to have to cross over another bridge as the path ends on this side and continues to the right. Yeah, just 10 minutes left here. It's still 0-0. And I've already listened to a few of them this season, and another one the way it's going. That was quite steep actually. I thought I was going to slip. Alas, I didn't. But will one of these teams slip up and give the other a victory? QPR trying to attack. They're not only content with the point, they want all three, just like Tottenham do. Both of them need all three, really. What, another bridge? Another day, another bridge. Only about the 20th one I've passed under since I've been on this canal. As you can see, it's now curving to the left. We're facing west, but we're turning more to the south as it winds its way nearer the city centre. I've not decided how long we're going to stay on. We're going to stay on it at least as far as Sandhill Station, we think. We may even stay on it longer, I don't know yet. Maybe it's just because I've been walking a lot. It doesn't feel as cold as it did, actually, which is good. Well, there's just 5 minutes left of this game. We really are getting closer and closer to the end. Both teams, in particular Tottenham, want the 3 points. Tottenham always with more of the quality, but QPR are showing a threat as well up front. They might yet win it themselves. Well, we're nearly at the end of the game now. We're into stoppage time, and there's only 2 minutes of it, which was met by considerable surprise from the fans in the ground. Tottenham trying to muster a final chance to win it themselves. They've been dispossessed though. It's all over at Loftus Road, and it has finished Queen's Park Rangers 0, Tottenham Hotspur 0. No goal for QPR. They haven't got the win that they really need, but it is a tough home game against a team that are third in the table. I must remind you, it's 2 clean sheets against 2 of the top 4 clubs in 2013 against Chelsea and Tottenham. They're still unbeaten. They're defending well, and I think QPR still have a good chance of staying up. That's how it finishes. Join me in 20 minutes where we will focus on one of 7 3 o'clock kickoffs in the Premier League, as that was only the start of a big football weekend. Well, it's 5-3, and we're just hearing grand old team from Goodison Park, and then the players will come out and you'll hear Z cars, then the Premier League jingle, and then it'll be time for the kickoff. Everton versus Swansea Goodison is just one of 7 3 o'clock kickoffs. I'll inform you of the rest later on, but that's what we'll listen to on BBC Radio Merseyside. So let's listen to the rest of the build-up and then the game. And we're now underway, with Swansea getting us kicked off at a near sell-out Goodison Park. Just some of the upper Bullen stand in the away end, not quite full, but other than that, we're ready for a good game between 2 informed sides. So let's get it on. There are 6 other 3 o'clock kickoffs, by the way, which I'll update you on score-wise. Everton versus Swansea, the only game in the northwest of England right now. There's Sunderland West Ham from the northeast, Norwich Newcastle in East Anglia, Stoke versus Chelsea, and Aston Villa versus Southampton in the Midlands, Reading versus West Brom in the south, and one game from the capital currently in progress is Fulham versus Wigan. So they are the games. What we're doing is we're spending the first 5 minutes walking to Sandhill Station, which is just ahead of us. We're getting the train back into the city. We'll walk around for about half an hour through a few streets in Liverpool, and then get the train home and drive home during the second half. Just standard, yeah. Well, just a few minutes gone as I wait for the train on the Sandhills platform. Everton almost scored within 2 minutes, but it stays 0-0. And of course, whatever goals go in, you'll be informed of them. So we had a good walk with the... It was 0-0, but it was a good game, the QPR Tottenham game. And we had a good walk along the canals in North Liverpool, doing what we should have done a month ago. And now we're slowly making our way home, and there's our train. Well, we're just outside Liverpool Central now. 15 minutes have gone, and as a West Ham United supporter, it's my luck that my team is the first team to concede in the 3 o'clock kickoff. Sunderland have scored, so Sunderland 1, West Ham 0. Good game, Everton on top, but it could go either way between Everton and Swansea. Goals there, goals across the rest of the Premier League, except where Larson put Sunderland ahead against West Ham, and that's after 15 minutes so far. So we're going to walk around the city centre for half an hour and listen to the rest of this game, Everton-Swansea, at least the first half here. Okay. Well, now that we're away from the hustle and bustle of the city, at least from all the people doing their shopping, I can bring you news of a second goal in the Premier League. Sunderland were the first team to score a home goal today against West Ham. West Brom are the first team to score an away goal. They're winning at Reading. Reading 0, West Brom 1. On-loan Chelsea striker Lukaku with another goal. 25 minutes gone in the 3 o'clock games, and just 2 goals in 7 matches at the moment. But of course you'll be informed whenever any more go in, via whenever I hear of them. So that's the situation so far. There's a third goal in a third Premier League game to tell you about now. And it's Fulham 1, Wigan 0. And it's the Greek veteran player that Fulham signed at the beginning of the season, Karagounis, with the goal. So, Wigan are losing, Reading are losing. That's good news for QPR, who got a goalless draw earlier. Almost a goal for Everton just a minute ago, but a great save from Vorm in the Swansea goal. And Ichibi denied. Just over half an hour gone. They're two great teams that play great football, that are having great seasons. But they've cancelled each other out so far. Everton vying to do the double on Swansea for the second year in a row. In fact, they've beaten Swansea 3 times out of 3 without even conceding a goal yet since Swansea have been in the Premier League. So hoping for 4 wins, 4 clean sheets and 2 league doubles in a row. But no goals here yet. As we wind our way round here, down this street. We're just south of Liverpool city centre here, walking through a few residential streets, only about half a mile south of the main shopping area. And we'll wind our way back round to the station by half time. In fact, this area that we're in, Liverpool's Chinatown. I'll just show you the green here. And if we just walk a few paces forward and look slightly up and to the left, there's a great view of the Anglican Cathedral, which I featured back in November, I think it was, earlier on in the season. But if we just carry on round here, the Chinatown stretch is just over there. Yeah, and a great view of the arch. The famous Chinese arch, which marks Liverpool's Chinatown. Which, if I'm not mistaken, is the second biggest in this country outside of London. Yeah. That's where we are now, though. We're going to turn right and eventually head back towards the city centre with just over 10 minutes until half time. Well, we're 20 minutes into the second half. Quite a while was passed since I last spoke to you. We walked back to the train station, the final 10 minutes of the first half, and the first 20 of this has been spent on the train. We're back now. In terms of goals, there hasn't been any at Goodison Park. It's still 0-0. As I reach in my pocket for my car key. It's down there somewhere. Got it. So it's still goalless. Everton are on top, as they usually are at home, but they continue to be frustrated. Anyways, let's get into the car and we'll talk more in a bit. Well, when I get in there, alright? Well, I've just switched on the car radio. It's on 5 Live at the moment, and apparently, I'll just turn the light on again if you can't see me. Chelsea have just won a penalty in the game at Stoke. Ryan Shawcross, the Stoke captain, centre half, has given away a penalty. That's what we're just hearing. I don't know what the score is in that game. We know it's 0-0 between Everton and Swansea. Sunderland are on their way to beating West Ham. They're 2-0 up now. A goal at the beginning of the second half from Johnson. But we don't know of any changes or any goals in the others yet. So we're going to stay a few minutes and see what we can find out.
And I think the referee Mariner had a very good view of that.
Is it?
Well, so a penalty.
Yes,
it's Frank Lampard.
It is a Chelsea penalty, and it's a penalty for Frank Lampard.
Lampard now, this to go into second
just stay with this. Can Frank Lampard score and put Stoke's unbeaten home record in jeopardy?
This almost certainly to wrap up the points for Chelsea.
Oh, they're already ahead. Oh, good for them.
Right-footed from the penalty spot.
Brilliant penalty. And the Chelsea fans celebrate. So Chelsea were already ahead at Stoke. And they must have got another.
The way things are, it is possible that every time Frank Lampard scores, it could be his last goal for Chelsea. Yeah, absolutely right.
So I don't know what the score is, but Chelsea are on their way to a victory at Stoke, it seems.
Lampard scoring, the first Chelsea player to get on the score sheet.
Crikey! It's 3-0 Chelsea. They ended Everton's unbeaten home record last month. They're going to do it to Stoke, and that will ensure that every Premier League team has lost on home turf at least once this season. And it's only late January. Last season, Man City won the title without losing at home. Man United did that the year before. Chelsea did it several times and winning the title twice in the noughties. But it's so competitive, the Premier League these days. It seems it's impossible to go unbeaten at home for so long. So Chelsea are 3-0 up at Stoke. And I'm going to see if I can get any more scores for you as I drive home now. So, it's still 0-0 at Everton. Chelsea are 3 up at Stoke, we've just heard. And Sunderland are beating West Ham 2-0. Fulham are still beating Wigan 1-0.
and Southampton are still winning 1-0 at Aston Villa. In fact, I didn't actually tell you that. It was about 10 minutes from half time that Villa went behind at home to Southampton through a Lambert penalty. So yes, I forgot to tell you about that. That actually happened in the first half. So Southampton are still winning at Villa in any case. Norwich, Newcastle, and we don't know anything about. We're assuming that's goalless. And the game, I don't know what's happened there for a while. It was 1-0 to West Brom at Reading. As soon as I know, I'll bring you up to date with everything, yeah? It was still 1-0 to West Brom at Reading until a couple of minutes ago. It's a second goal for Lukaku, and the points are heading back to Birmingham, it seems. So Reading, who dropped to bottom after QPR's point against Tottenham, are going to stay bottom because they're 2-0 down at home to West Brom. That's the latest score, it's just come in. Norwich Newcastle is now the only game we don't know about for sure at this point. Well, there's less than 15 minutes left of these games. I've got a few more goals to tell you about, and then I'm going to go in and watch the conclusion on the Gillette show and bring it all to you later on. It's all over for West Ham now. They're 3-0 down at Sunderland through a fortuitous goal. Wigan have equalised at Fulham, so that's interesting. And Chelsea are romping home. They've gone 4-0 up away at Stoke. They're going to condemn Stoke to their first home defeat, easily their worst ever defeat at home in the Premier League. I don't think they've ever lost by more than 2 at the Britannia in the Premier League until today, it seems. I'll have to assume it's 0-0 at Norwich Newcastle, because I've not heard anything yet. Everton constantly bombing forward, but just can't break down Swansea at the moment. They've got another attack here, but I'll talk to you in a bit.